Hey guys, my name is Nora Franche, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessed Mess Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. Hey everyone, we are reading from A Day at a Time, March 23rd, Reflection for the Day. The program teaches us through the experience, strength, and hope of its fellowship that the worst situation imaginable does not warrant a return to our addiction. No matter how bad a particular situation or set of circumstances, the return to our old ways for even a minute will assuredly make it worse. Am I grateful for the sharing and caring of the program? Today I pray. May I insist that no stone can be heavy enough to drag me back down into the pool of my addiction. No burden, no disappointment, no blow to pride or loss of human love is worth the price of returning to my old way of life. When I harbor thoughts that life is too much for me, that no one should be expected to take so much and still remain sane, or that I am the fall guy, let me listen for the tone of my complaint and remember that I have heard that whine before I concluded that I was powerless over my addiction and gave my will over to my higher power. Such wailing sets me up for getting high again. May my higher power keep my ears alert to the tone of my own complaining. Today I will remember, hear my own complaints. I heard myself whining the other day. Like I went on a tear and I was just venting to my poor mama who so graciously just let me go on and on. And I was so embarrassed reflecting on it afterwards. I was like, ew, I sounded just so childish and so selfish and just yuck. It was embarrassing in retrospect, but I want to pay attention to the tone, and the tone was all about me. It was all about me. It was whiny. It was very self-focused. And I think that's really important because the big book hammers on and on about how our disease is one of self-focus, of selfishness, of self-centered thinking. And that's exactly what I was doing. And in a way, that embarrassment that I felt could be like a good form of shame that draws me to recognize what I did, to apologize where needed, and to do my best with my higher power's help to move forward and be intentional about having less of that self-thinking kind of pervade my interior experience that then poured out exteriorly. But I think it's really good here that it's like this self-pity that goes into whining and complaining. It's not that it's wrong to complain. It's not that we're not allowed. It's just that it needs to have a stopping point. We need to do our best to be, as charitable in what we're doing and not just fabricating connections and making up stories about people and their intentions, or just allowing ourselves to say, this is really hard, and acknowledge that, and then move forward. Because it's that movement that keeps me out of my disease. It's when I stop in my tracks that I start to sink. And I think that's what wallowing, that's what whining, that's what self-pity is. That's me stopping and starting to sink. And I don't want to let that happen. I've been falling into that habit. It feels like a lot lately. I don't know if it's more than usual or I'm just more aware. But I don't want to give in to my disease. But also, it's miserable. It just is so miserable to be wallowing and whining and thinking, woe is me, and look at how this person did me wrong. And so I get to turn to the big book. I can say the resentment prayer. I want to, God bless them and give them everything good that I wish for me. My sponsor always tells me to say, bless them, heal me. And chances are, if there's something that is upsetting you in a relationship in another human being, it's something that you have yet to have compassion for and healing in yourself. And I definitely found that to be true in this last situation that I found myself in. And the other thing too is that forgiveness prayer that I've shared with you before. And I was saying that prayer repeatedly, and it does help. But it is also important to acknowledge the hurt. We can't blow past that. We don't want to be spiritually bypassing and say, oh, I shouldn't be upset. I shouldn't whine. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. No, this is when we go to our higher power and we say, hey, I'm sad. And this is really hard for me. And I know my motives are mixed. And I can't help it. I'm powerless over my thinking. My mind is going crazy trying to connect why this could have happened and what this person's thinking. I'm powerless over my thinking. But I'm willing to believe that you can help me. And I want to turn my will and my life and my thinking over to the care of the God of my understanding. And with that, we can say the serenity prayer. And then we turn to another fellow we can help. With that, I pass. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you are here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess. And I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.